What's up, dudes? It's Molly. Who's this message for? We're going to talk about a really bad smear campaign that happened to someone. Who's this message for? Scorpio. Who else? This is for Scorpio. Scorpio, why do narcissistic people do smear campaigns? And what is a smear campaign? Just like what it sounds like. So what happens is, I hear covert narcissism. So this person will absolutely create a false reality. And they'll start to believe that false reality themselves. Their own narcissism will feed their own delusion of this false reality. Their own bloated bobblehead of moral righteousness that is absolutely skewed will start talking a bunch of shit about a totally innocent person. So why do these kind of people do this? It's called shadow projection. It starts with shadow projection. So a narcissist has a lot of unhealed wounding. And so they will see the negative traits about themselves, how they feel about themselves, and mostly this is on like a subconscious level. They will see it in other people, and then they'll punish that person for this delusion that they have. But what they're really doing is punishing themselves through a totally innocent person. That's exactly what happened. So they have to start feeding into their delusion that they made up about a totally innocent person. So they start kind of getting people to believe the delusion. They start creating a false reality. For example, I had a family member who I trusted and loved. And the whole time, they were talking a whole bunch of shit about me. Completely untrue. Everything was completely untrue that this person said. And the smear campaign started unfolding for me when I realized this person is telling everybody a whole bunch of lies about me. And it started with me saying to this person, guess what? I'm autistic. And this person said, bullshit, prove it. I've decided you're bipolar. As a grown woman, what do you say to somebody who says that back to you? I am not bipolar. This person's behavior is very bipolar. They themselves may be bipolar. Their shadow, a bully, pushy, bitchy, know-it-all. I said, what? What are you talking about? Now, keep in mind, I'm the only person in my family who has done any sort of psychology work. This person who deemed me, who just decided I'm bipolar, and they did it out of spiritedness, has never stepped foot in a psychology office ever in their life. Has never done any sort of self-healing work, nothing, has never faced their own shadow. Instead, they project it out. I hear the name Angie, listen up. Instead, they project it out. Then this person said to me, you don't go anywhere, you don't do anything, you don't have any friends, you never leave the house. Now, this person has been ignoring me for years. And I said, that's just not true. Like, who are you telling this to? This is completely not true. And it broke my heart. The ultimate betrayal. Fast forward a whole bunch, I kept telling this person, like, why are you doing this to me? They got a hoity know-it-all attitude. I was on the phone with this person, and they said to me, now think about this, a grown person had no problem saying this to me. They said, well, you're just jealous that I have a better life than you, and hung up on me. No, I have a good life. What are you talking about? Like, who are you doing this giant smear campaign about me that you don't even know who I am anymore because you've been shunning and ignoring me for so fucking long? And then your own bad behavior creates a false reality about me to justify you doing this to me. And in the end, I don't fucking deserve this. You've made all of this up about me. Then I got discarded. Yeah, I got a text that says, I think it's best if we don't be sisters anymore. Why are you doing this to me? It's called shadow projection. Comparing. Smearing someone. This person, there was a significant party. This person sent me text. I don't want your pity appearance at the party. So then I don't go. Then they get butthurt that I didn't go. This is a bossy, bully, bitchy person who has slid completely into their shadow and has abused their family member and then discarded them. This person also goes on my Facebook, befriends all my friends, shuns me but participates in Facebook with my friends. It's called triangulation. Supply. All while smear campaigning me? It's insidious. My heart seriously broke over this person's horrific behavior. And then they gathered everyone around them to believe their smear campaign. Can you imagine being the recipient of that? Of opening up about something so personal to someone, and their response is, bullshit, prove it. A spoiled brat. A bossy, bully, bitchy, spoiled brat who's created a whole false reality about an innocent dove and told anybody who will listen. Yeah, it's brutal. What happened to me is textbook, though. Absolutely textbook. I had to go through grieving the death of my father completely alone. I had to go through this horrific, toxic relationship I have with my ex. Yeah. Well, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I have the most unloyal family in the history of all families. They still carry on with my exes, knowing that both of them have laid hands on me. They try to foster a friendship with my exes. Yeah, I don't contact this person's exes, no. Why? Because one of her exes punched her in the fucking face. Did a little something to her nose, yeah. I spit on the ground when I think about that person who hurt my family member. Yeah, this smear campaigner engages with the people that hurt me. Why? Because they know it will hurt my feelings. A complete lack of boundaries. It's been horrific. My deceased father, before he died, he had a watch that he made it very clear who he decided the watch was for. It was for my son, the first grandchild who was graduated high school, who was going to graduate high school then. This family member's eldest son got caught up in some drugs and bad behavior treatment like 9 times. Yeah, my dad made it very clear that the watch was not going to that eldest grandson who got all of my dad's collectible things and through his addiction pawned every single one of them. My dad made it very clear before he died, his watch that he got and he wore our whole life was going to go to my son. But this family member can't understand that my dad loved me and my children as much as he loved her and her children. So in the end, what happened? Smear campaign, shunning, ignoring. Yeah. Well, now the watch was gifted to this family member's grandson that was born after my dad died, and my dad never even knew this baby, who is delightful and adorable. But my dad never knew this baby, and my dad fully died believing that these 2 family members who re-gifted the watch that was destined for my child, my dad fully died believing both of them would honor his wishes. They didn't just betray me, my son, they betrayed my fucking deceased father, who fully believed they would honor his wishes. And he made it very clear before he died who that watch was for. It's horrific. I've had to watch these people just transform and like float away as they were saying all this horrible shit. And then be a bunch of takers. and then discard me. All the while, smear campaigning, creating completely false realities. So, I am not bipolar. A lot of times what smear campaigners do, they say you are what they are. It's called shadow projection. I'm not bipolar. I'm not a drug addict, alcoholic, anything like that. I do not have an STD. I have never had an STD in my life. In fact, in one of my readings, when I had my checkup, which my doctor, after my husband started having affairs, my doctor said we need to now start testing you for STDs. Yeah, you never think about that. The horror of your spouse having an affair is so bad, you never think, oh my God, they may have given me an STD. But my doctor did. So I started rounds of testing. I have had sex with one person in the past 18 years. Everything came back negative, and I put the results in one of my readings. HPV, negative. So all this bullshit these smear campaigners are doing, because they're triggered, is completely untrue. Completely untrue. And it is brutal when you have the smear campaign done upon you. Brutal. Zero respect. Nothing. And then they discard you. They throw you away like you're a piece of garbage. So we're going to learn about the narcissist discard. And as the years go on, or the time apart goes on, the narcissist, this narcissistic behavior, their overinflated ego starts literally sucking their own ego dick, for lack of a better phrase. And they embellish and make it even bigger and bigger. The smear campaign. With zero ability to self-reflect how fucking nasty they've been. On purpose. How a complete lack of boundaries. These horrible things said right back to somebody. And then they twist it if you say, why did you say that? We're moving forward. Well, no, we're not moving forward. You just decided that you're done smearing me and you want a family member back today, but until you get triggered and then you yell, you're just jealous that I have a better life than you, and hang up on your victim. This is how infantile this narcissistic behavior is. The smear campaign, and they will tell anybody who will listen a complete false reality. Yeah, that happened to me, and it was horrific. It broke my heart into a million pieces. I cried a million tears. And for a couple years straight, every day I wake up, and sometimes I shed some tears. Sometimes I have it together. But every time I ask the universe to send this person on a spiritual awakening, because they've got to be horribly unhappy to be so fucking mean. I have asked the universe every single day to send this particular family member and some outer rings of people who have completely treated me like total fucking shit, to send them all on a spiritual awakening. So if this is happening to you, I'm really, really sorry. It's the most brutal thing you will ever go through in your whole life. It usually starts with, who are these people that look like my family? What happened? How could they be so cruel? Especially if you're a scapegoat of a family and you've had an awakening and spirit has removed the veils and your own false projection of who you want people to be. You may have been trained your whole life to say, no, you're right. I'm just a piece of shit. Yeah, you're right. I sincerely apologize. Yeah. Are you ready to move forward yet? I'll wait in the wings until you're ready for your sister back again. Yeah, when you stop doing that low vibration that's rolling around in these people called abuse really cranks it up. It's been horrific. And the sad thing with my experience is it's so textbook. It's almost predictable. These behaviors are so textbook, it's almost predictable. I've tried to talk to another family member about the watch. Yeah. You know what? You know what my mother said to me? Molly, if you bring up the watch again, I'm going to block you forever. That's my choices. Advocate for my dad's wishes or get blocked forever. My sibling has wrote me off and triangulates the shit out of anybody that knows me, that she's not even very close to, on social media. All but one of the last things she said to me was, "You're just jealous that I have a better life than you." Hang up on me. It was horrific to go through all that completely alone. I had a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse all around me. And I stopped just sliding into the scapegoat role, which I've been living my whole life. And just like that, my family discarded me. It's been horrible. All right? Look at it. I hid who I really am from you. Water. I got set free on my own through my spiritual awakening. I'm a spiritual orphan. I got discarded and shunned. I still, to this day, don't know why. I do know why. But I don't know why these particular people did this to me. What their justification was. I know from knowing the complex dynamics of a dysfunctional family that they created a false reality about me instead of facing their own shadow. And then they took all their issues out on me. And then they got a new thing that takes up their time. Discard. The more time passes, the more they feed into their own smear campaign delusion and tell more and more people. It's been horrific. Lonely, alone, betrayal, the ultimate betrayal. And then when I wouldn't be the scapegoat anymore, immediately slid it onto my child, took his destiny and gave it to their own people. My dad has been watching this whole time. My dad has visited me 4 times while I've been completely alone. On my birthday, my 50th birthday and my 51st birthday, I got a short, curt text. That's it. This person made it very, very clear. Yeah, they don't want me in their life anymore. But they won't tell me why. Because if they sit with it and critically think it, everything they've projected upon me has been completely false. Their lack of boundaries have been completely horrific. The most unloyal family in the history of all families. Classic textbook abuse. So we're going to learn about the narcissistic discard. Why can they just throw you away like you're a piece of garbage? And then have this like hoity-toity attitude about it. Because they believe their own delusion. They have to. If they don't, they will have to face their own shadow, which they project onto other people. They'll have to, for example, they'll have to look back at their horrific behavior to a totally innocent person, and instead, they just believe their own delusion, because then it justifies their own behavior and they don't have to feel uncomfortable. Ruthless, shameless, abusive, mean-spirited, abandoning. All right. So, what else? What else does Spirit want to show? If this has happened to you, it can get very, very dark. Because there's nothing you can do about it. They will gather as many people into their smear campaign as they can. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then they'll start taking your blessings, convincing themselves they're justified in doing it. They'll slide somebody you love into your smear campaign role, your scapegoat role. If you bow out of this very toxic dynamic, there's a very good chance it will get refocused onto your children. They will triangulate your own children with you. They will try to convince your child there's something wrong with you. That happened to me. That happened to me. My son and myself and my family members were on a group phone call talking about this watch, which has since lost all of its magic. It has since lost all of its magic for what happened. I get a phone call from my family members knowing full well that my dad's wishes were that it goes to this particular child. They say, well, we called your kid and we said to him, well, Grandpa's watch isn't worth any money. He got it refaced. This is what my son told me they said. They got the face put back on it. So it's not really worth that much money. My dad's Rolex. How about we give it to the baby? What do you think? Yeah, what is my son supposed to say? No. Grandpa wanted me to have that. He never even knew your grandchild. It was absolutely delightful and adorable. But we thought the baby would like a family heirloom. Yeah, my son's child that he may have in the future would probably like their destined family heirloom. That my dad fully believed these people would honor his wishes after he passed. So my family members called me up and said, well, we worked it out with your kid. It's going to the baby for their 1-year birthday. I said, absolutely not. I started crying. I said, I will buy the baby a Rolex. That particular watch is meant for Ash. What are you doing? No, he said we could give it to the baby. I said, we're going to call my son up 3-way right now. What happened was, my son started getting emotional on the phone. And here's the dynamics of addiction of a golden child too. My sister's eldest, who has pawned all the family heirlooms. He's a recovering drug addict who slips back into addiction. I think he says he's gone to treatment 9 times. Yeah, his kid got the watch. My dad made it really clear that he wasn't going to get the watch because he's pawned everything. My son started getting weepy on the phone and said, I have lost so many family members on my dad's side and people that I love due to drugs. I'm just glad blank is alive and he can have whatever he wants. There, you heard it. You heard it from Asher. He said the baby can have it. That's what they heard. My son crying. And that's through their own filter how they took in that information. We're absolved, the baby gets it. See, he said he can have it. My sister in the back, why don't you like the baby? Why don't you like my oldest son? I do like them. I love them. I hate this fucking manipulative game everybody's playing. And I said to my sister, as she was raging in the background, she got a rage problem, I love you. I said, do you hear me say that? I love you. And she refused to answer me. So I just kept saying it over and over again till she acknowledged me saying, I love you. I love you. Do you hear me? I love you. I love you. Yeah. What did she say in front of my child? She said my son's name. You deserve better. This is an illness. This is an illness? Then they hung up on us. Then my sister sends my kid a text message. She tries to recruit my son in her smear campaign. My sister, who doesn't know anything about me because she's been ignoring me now for years. My son sent me a screenshot immediately, because this is some bullshit. Said something like, when I said you deserve, my sibling has a very good ability of blowing everything up and then backtracking and explaining it away. My sister said to my son, who they stole the watch from, when I said it's an illness, it has nothing to do with autism. Sometimes it seems like your mother gets caught in a rabbit hole that she can't get out of. Because I kept repeatedly saying I love her because she wouldn't acknowledge me saying I love her. Everybody seemed to forget how intelligent my son is. My son isn't going to go jump their smear campaign train called Molly is a Cuckoo. My son knows me and loves me and tells me all of the time, thank you for being such a cool, nice mom. My son wasn't going to jump on the smear campaign Molly trail called She Gets Lost in a Rabbit Hole. My sibling tried to smear campaign me to my own child, trying to convince him I have some sort of mental illness that causes me to get lost in a rabbit hole. Thank God my son is intelligent enough he wasn't going to fall for it. He shut it down and said, not cool. My son knows me and loves me. And my son heard me repeatedly saying to my sibling, I love you. That's not getting caught in a rabbit hole. That's trying to tell my sister I love her when she refuses to acknowledge it. That's how insidious this is. And the whole time, my deceased father has been watching all of this. And I guarantee that watch isn't on that little 1-year-old's wrist. My son, who's never been in trouble, ever, they just re-gifted his destiny to somebody my dad never even knew. All the while smear campaigning me to justify their own horrible behavior. And when I bowed out, yeah, who did they fuck over? My son. And my son's future kids, who that is their heirloom, that my dad fully believed my son would get. Next message. Thank God my son is so intelligent. The rattle. Everybody has cried over this greediness, regifting, changing reality, smear campaign, discard, triangulation. The last time we were supposed to go visit, my son got so nervous he ended up projectile vomiting. And I was at a crossroads. I was supposed to go to a party with my family. When all of a sudden my son, I watched his face just get totally white, ran to the bathroom and started projectile vomiting. And then I was at a crossroads. Do I leave my son now, who we had picked up from his dad's house where he was living, and brought him to my house, and then we were going to all leave. We were all dressed up and ready to go to the party. And my son starts vomiting. Do I leave my kid on the couch and go to the party? Because I'm really scared because my son was fine and now he's really aggressively vomiting. Or do I stay home and keep an eye on him and try to take care of him? If I don't go to the party, my sibling will hate me forever. What do I do? That was the crossroads I was at. I called over to the party. My mother answered. I started crying. I said, I'm at a really horrible crossroads. I don't know what to do. She passed the phone to my sibling. My son is so sick right now, I don't know what to do. I know if I don't come, you're going to be very, very upset with me. Don't come. We don't want anyone to be sick. It's that kind of like telephone voice, fakey. I know you're going to be really upset with me. Molly, I have a house full of people here right now, and I am not going to do this with you. Hang up. We didn't go. I stayed back, kept an eye on my son, who kept running to the bathroom, vomiting. I made him some homemade chicken noodle soup. He slept pretty much the whole day on the couch. I sent pictures of my daughter and I all dressed up to my family members. Sent out a card like I did with her previous child, graduation. Never heard anything from either of them. The second one, on the day of his graduation, because I didn't know if I was going to get invited to his graduation party because they were in the middle of shunning all of us. My nephew, when he graduated, I made sure I spent $120 making sure there was chocolate-covered strawberries and chocolate-covered Oreos on his doorstep when he got home from school, the last day of school. That kid remembers me. He called me, Auntie Molly! Thank you so much. That was really nice of you. Yeah, it's from Lucy, Asher, and I. We didn't know if you liked strawberries, so we got you the Oreos too. Thank you very much. Yeah, that kid remembers me. The other one, I text her on her birthday every year. Happy birthday! Ghosting. Nothing. No response. So I have been there for my niece and nephews. They just won't accept it. Well, one of them does. Next message. Autopilot. I hear one more. So, I don't know who's wearing my dad's watch. I got a pretty good idea. It's not my son, though. Honor your word. Final message? Because when my dad was dying, he said to me, the watch is going to go to your son, to Asher, to my son. I said, did you tell my sister that? Apparently my dad and my mother talked to my sister and she cried. And she said, I understand. So both my mother and my sister knew exactly what my dad's wishes were. And they re-gifted it. Mine fucked my kid? Well, Grandpa's watch isn't really worth much of anything. Well, he replaced the crystal face on it, which null and voids it for any worth. My dad's Rolex. Yeah, my dad's really fucking disappointed. He died fully believing both of them would honor his wishes. And he made it very clear before he died. Now my mother says, if you bring up the watch again, I will block you forever. So I can't talk about the watch anymore if I want a family. It's been horrific. For all involved. Because some people can't get it through their head that my father loved me just as much as he loved them. That my father loved my children just as much as he loved their children. They can't seem to comprehend that. And my father has visited me 4 times since he passed. While they were busy shunning and ignoring me, my father gave me the best birthday present, my deceased father. I was sitting in front of my butterfly garden. This was on my 50th birthday. Just relaxing in the morning. Pretty sure my family they're gonna send a short text with a period at the end. I was pretty sure I was just gonna be kind of solo on my 50th birthday. And I was looking at my butterfly garden, and there was this sapling that had grown up through my little rabbit fencing around it. And it was completely blocking my view to the garden when I was sitting in my chair. And everything inside of me said, break that stick, that sapling. But it was a sapling. It was still alive, so it was really hard to break. And I was just calm in my own, kind of doing my own thing, trying to figure out how to break this. And I was doing it this one way. And then all of a sudden I had this overwhelming urge to pull it real fast this other way. And when I did it, it snapped and it made a noise that sounded like a shotgun. And all of a sudden the wind blew and I felt my dad. My dad visited me on my birthday. I could smell him. I could feel him. And it was just me and my dad. And then he faded away. And I had this giant wand in my hand. That I got from my dad. And I sat down and I started peeling the bark off the wand. It just came off in strips. You want to see it? I keep it displayed by my dad's hat. My dad loved the University of Minnesota, where my son goes. My dad would be absolutely thrilled. He is absolutely thrilled knowing that my son is successful in college. It has this neat wiggle in it. I display it with my most precious things. My dad's hat. Some centerpieces I made for my son's graduation from high school, which we'll use for my daughter. My wand. Some crocheted stars garland that my daughter made for me. It's my special corner. A cactus might mean something. There it is. I hear jig. A fishing pole might mean something. My dad loved to fish. My dad was a golfer. And then when he got older and his body was when he was sick, unable to golf, he would do ride-alongs with his friends in the golf cart. And then he would still do fishing. Let's get a final message. If you've had a smear campaign done upon you, it's horrific. Horrific. If you have had the scapegoat of the family role put upon you, and people have been completely rude, disrespectful, with no apology. An apology has bullet points. See, a lot of times people who do this, they'll freak out, they'll have their rage, and then they'll say, if they say they're sorry, they'll say, I'm sorry, we're moving forward now. But all that I'm sorry is apology homework that person just did. The least amount of effort. I'm sorry does nothing. That's not an apology. That's an easy out. So an apology has bullet points to it. An apology sounds something like this. Hey you, I want to talk about what happened. Are you okay about talking about it? And then they say yes. And then you say something like, I have personally been thinking about the damage I caused you with my own horrific fucking behavior. I don't like how it makes me feel. I want you to know your pain was not in vain. I learned a very important lesson. I will never do that to anybody else again. I sincerely apologize for the hurt I've done to you, for dismissing you, ignoring you, making false realities about you, taking all my rage out on you, abusing you. I understand I had horrible behavior, and I never want to do that again. I've transcended the lesson. I sincerely apologize. I'm so very sorry. Yeah, that's an apology. So Spirit said follow it up. Okay? Read the text exchange. So I'm going to read a text exchange about what happened. Yeah. Yo, Daisy. You want to hear about what really happened? I'm going to read the text exchange. Want to see what a rage on an autistic woman looks like? File under familial abuse. The Tarot DJ. Me sending a message to my sibling's child. Good morning, blank. I just wanted to send a special message from me to you. Today's a big day for you. I'm so proud of you and want you to know how much I love you. Way to go. Have a great day today. I'm unable to be there, but know I'm totally there in spirit with you. I'm so proud of what a kind-hearted and special and cool person you are. I'm proud to call you my family. Congrats. All my love, Auntie Molly. Then that person texted back. It was their graduation. Thank you for the kind words and the good wishes. I love you. Then what happens? My sister goes into a rage. You twist my words to have an out when you need one. I've always supported your kids and will continue to do so. Remember, I was the one who got Asher's party together to celebrate him. No, I got my own son's graduation party together. My sister decided to give for her present to my son. She decided to bring some tables and chairs. She has friends who own a party supply company, and she was able to get some tables and chairs. And then my sister, unbeknownst to me, I had no idea. She decided to order decorations for my son's party. But I had already made all the decorations. I had paper flowers hanging from the trees. But of course, remember, I was the one who got Asher's party together to celebrate him. No, you weren't. His mother. Me. I got it together. I brought all the tables and chairs, the cake, ordered decorations. My kids and I decorated. So the cake went like this. My sister had her own get-together, and she has a huge Hispanic community that she's friends with, and they're always very warm, kind people. And a Hispanic person who had never been invited to an American party before, arrived with a cake. And my sister, that previous night of the party, said, now I got this cake and I don't know what to do with it. And I said, well, Mom and I were going to buy a cake this morning for the graduation. We were going to go to Sam's Club and get one. Do you want to bring it with and we'll use it up here? It was blank on the top. And she said, perfect. I brought all the tables and chairs, the cake, ordered decorations, and my kids and I decorated. Yeah, I didn't ask you to order decorations, and you were bitching about this cake that you didn't have room for. So I said, let's use it tomorrow. That's what happened. I was there as he walked across the stage to get his diploma. You're not showing blank the same respect as I heard you're not coming today. That was a nice message to her, but please know you broke her heart. She's never done anything but be kind and loving to you. I will never here's what my sibling doesn't understand. If you take big shits on people and be like a bridezilla for a graduation, people stay away. They become scared of this abuse. That was a nice message to her, but please know you broke her heart. She's never done anything but be kind and loving to you. Yeah, if you want people to come over, you should probably be nice to them, right? If you want people to step into your house, you should probably be nice to them. I will never ask you to be a part of my kids' lives / special accomplishments again. You won't need an excuse to not come out to her party. I'm giving you the out. You won't need to support them. I'm giving you your out. This is right after I said, I'm autistic, and the person said, bullshit, prove it. You don't go anywhere. You don't do anything. I'm giving you your out. You won't need to support them. I'm giving you your out. You can twist this all on me because you say I'm an evil bitch, cunt, bully, mean girl, and whatever else you want. No, I didn't say that. The only time I ever said something negative to my sister was 3 years prior to that. My sister was raging at me, and I couldn't handle it anymore. And I said, you're being a cunt. So that she's saying came 3 years after I said that. And I learned my lesson. Don't ever, ever, ever disrespect my sibling, whether she deserves it or not. Yeah, place your bets, place your bids. Was she being a see you next Tuesday 3 years prior to that? Let's see her vibe. You won't need to support them. I'm giving you your out. You can twist this all on me because you say, and I never said this other stuff, you say I'm an evil bitch, cunt, bully, mean girl, and whatever else you want. Think what you want, say what you want, and tell me to self-reflect. But you should do the same. You don't have to interact or see us again. I'm giving you your out. I responded back, yesterday you told me your child was terrified of me. I don't want to ruin her day. I'm literally damned if I do and damned if I don't when it comes to you. Don't twist it. I told you she was terrified of what she heard. Now it's all capital letters and misspelling because she's rage texting. I never said she was terrified of you. Don't twist my words. It's done. You've made your point. Don't turn this around. I was there for Asher. I've always shown up for him. Except when they steal his watch. You're not coming. She knows it. You know school was hard for her. And how hard she'd work for this. You, her only blood aunt, isn't going to be there to stand and cheer her on. That's on you. I responded back calmly, no misspelled words, proper pronunciation, punctuation, nothing in capital rage texting. Meanwhile, she's all misspelling capital rage texting, screaming at me. I respond back, what do you want me to do? Clearly you're not happy with me. Anything I do will upset you, so what do you want me to do? Don't twist it. I don't want you to do anything. We don't communicate, and you've shown you only think of me as a bully, evil bitch, cunt, snake, mean girl, and manly other vile things. I think she's trying to say mainly, or many. Which I never said any of that. That's called shadow projection. You've shown you only think of me as a bully, which is spelled B-U-I-L-L-Y because she's rage texting, evil bitch, cunt, snake, mean girl, and manly, but many other vile things. You don't show up and I'm tapping out. I won't watch my kids sad about it. It's their day. We're going to all be cheerleaders she needs. Mom and her eldest will be there. We're proud of our child, and you're choosing not to be part of her accomplishment. This isn't on me. You're choosing to twist my words, and I'm out. I said her name, sibling, my ex, Lucy, my daughter, and Ash are all coming with your eldest. You did say your child was terrified of me. You get into a rage and hear what you want to hear. It's forced. Don't. It's not genuine. I don't want bad vibes, and I don't want to walk on eggshells. I don't want your pity appearance, and neither will she. This is her day, and I don't want drama, Molly. I'm out. And I'm serious. It's clear I'm not invited. I don't know what else to say. I'm proud of your daughter. It's a special day for you both. And then I put a sparkle heart emoji. No, Molly, don't twist it again. Only after I told you how I feel, you're willing to come. Don't put this back on me. You clearly do not give one shit about my child. That's what's clear. I eat there for yours and made sure mom had, she rage texting, and made sure mom had a ride to watch her grandson graduate. I was there to take your pictures with him, and I went because I wanted to be there for him. Do not justify this by saying you're not invited. That's wrong and you know it. I said, again, her name. Sibling, you're in a rage and you're not understanding me. This was our conversation for reference. You've always been invited, so don't put in a bunch of screenshots. So don't put it back in me. I'm not in a rage. Don't deflect. You messaged her. You're not coming. Before I even talked to you, so do not twist it on me, even though the previous night she told me her child was terrified of me. You chose that this morning, so it's not rage. It's pain. Well, is pain, because she's rage texting. I texted back. Yesterday, you ripped me a giant one, unloaded all your pent-up rage on me, and told me your child was terrified of me. I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable. I was still planning on coming to the party after things cooled down with you. You're not upset with my ex, my daughter, and my son, and they will be there today. I don't know how else to please you or make you happy with this situation. You're literally texting me not to come and then telling me the fact that I'm not coming is breaking everyone's heart and such, but you're saying don't come. What the heck am I supposed to do? You don't need to please me, and I didn't talk to you yesterday, Molly. And so things don't get mixed up. You ripped on me. You ripped on me the last time we talked because I didn't take 10 minutes to watch the video. You ripped on me. Do not twist it. You said I don't make time to understand you. Do not twist it. So the video. The video was what women with autism want you to know. I sent my mother and my sister a 10-minute video after my sister screamed at me, bullshit, prove it. Now, if a family member said, I have this affiliation might mean something. I have this thing. A grown woman says to other grown people, I have this thing. And their first response back is a bullshit, prove it, yelling it back. That's very abusive. So I proved it. I tried to educate them, and I sent them a 10-minute video. The first time I tried to introduce autism in adult women to my family, they refused to watch it. The next day, I called. I said, did you watch the video? I will watch it on my own time. Okay. I was finally, like a week later, sobbing on the phone, not understanding why they refused to watch the video. Then, like a week later, they finally watched it. My sister said nothing about it to me. And my mother, she said to me, I said, did you watch the video finally? Yes, Molly. Well, what do you think? My mother said, well, do you think you're going to get those earbuds? That video was sponsored by an earbud thing. I said, no, Mom, I'm not going to get those earbuds. And that's all that was said. Later on, my mother has opened up a little bit and accepted reality. I have gotten zero compassionate interpretation from my family. So let's read this again. You don't need to please me. And I didn't talk to you yesterday, Molly. And so things don't get mixed up. You ripped on me the last time we talked because I didn't take 10 minutes to watch the video. You ripped on me. Do not twist it. You said I don't make the time to understand you. Do not twist it. Is me saying to my family who refuses to watch a 10-minute video, saying, you don't make the time to understand me? Is that ripping on someone? Or is this person projecting onto me what they want? There's no ability to self-reflect in that message. You ripped on me the last time we talked because I didn't take 10 minutes to watch the video. If anybody in my family had an affliction and they said, here's some information about it, I would stop everything and take 10 fucking measly minutes out of my life and watch the video. I didn't get that. You ripped on me. Do not twist it. You said I don't make time to understand you. Do not twist it. Then I responded, sorry, the day before yesterday is when we had talked. Maybe one day you may learn more about me, parentheses, like watch the video, and you won't be so disgusted with me all the time, Knowledge is the key to freedom. You let my daughter down. You reached out to her first and said, "You're not coming." I said she was terrified of what she heard. I told you she was scared that Grandma was crying. Do not twist it. So you said, "I don't care." You know not showing up for her is wrong. If you didn't, it wouldn't be a big deal to you if I'm upset or not. You clearly don't care one bit about how your words hurt others. You don't care one bit how your venom burns, but it's fully understood now, and I'm out for good. Like in that text exchange, did I have any venom? Was I calling anybody a snake, a mean girl, an evil bitch? I've never said that to my sister, ever. The whole time I'm saying, "What do you want me to do? I will do it." You clearly don't care one bit about how your words hurt others. You don't care one bit how your venom burns. That's called a rage. That's what somebody, when they're in a rage. It's fully understood now, and I'm out for good. And clearly, you don't care about me or my family. I respond back. Me? I do care. What do you want me to do? I'll do what you tell me. It's very confusing for an autistic person to be told, "Don't come," and then how dare you not come? And then there's a whole bunch more. I shared again. Once again, here's the video if anyone's interested in learning who exactly is getting picked on. And the video is 16 overlooked autistic traits in women. Molly, if you cared, this never would have been anything but a happy day for my child. I wouldn't do that to Asher or Lucy. This was supposed to be a family day, and I shouldn't have had my hopes up. I wrote back, "If you keep bullying me, I'll continue to reflect it back so everyone sees the truth. I love your child, and I have been supportive this whole time. What you've done to me is called a narcissistic discard." And then I sent her a link to the video that I'll put in the comment section of this video if you want to see what a narcissistic discard is. Then a couple weeks, that was the graduation ceremony. Then a couple weeks later, it was the party. My sister still hated me, refused to talk to me. I called my mother and I said, "I don't know what to do. Should I go to the party?" It's very clear that my sister is done with me. I don't want to upset anyone. And my mother said, Molly, I think it's time you cut the strings. My childhood friend was in town, and she said, why don't you go to your friend's cabin? My mother, who lives with my sister, at the time she was living with my sister. Do you think my mother told my sister and everybody that I called her and asked her for advice on what to do about the party? No, I'm pretty sure my mother did not tell my sister or my niece that she told me not to come. That was her advice, watching everything. Now I text my niece on her birthday. Happy birthday! Yeah, just ghosted, no response. Nothing. Not even a response. When do you stop? When do you stop trying? These people have made it very clear they don't respect you. They're not willing to get to learn about you. And they've projected all their shadows upon you. It's the plight of the scapegoat. And I'll also put some links in this comment section about why narcissist abuse so often leads to spiritual awakening. Because the abuse is all there. It's right there in your face. And then another link to a video called Am I the Narcissist? What Nobody Wants to Tell You. And the gist of that information is a lot of people have fleas. And so what does that even mean? It means they're vibing so low, they've picked up fleas. This narcissistic vibe. Bad behavior. And Spirit has said, mighty elks, shake off the fleas. So if you hang around a bunch of narcissistic people, you might start acting narcissistic. If you're used to talking to people totally rude and disrespectfully, and you're around a bunch of other shit talkers who don't show anyone respect, you might have picked up fleas. You might think it's totally okay to just ghost someone. Ruin their shit. Believe your own bullshit. False realities, smear campaigns. A whole bunch of people got to shake off the fleas.